Hey, what's up guys? Professor here. Today we are going to talk a little bit about the man Asher Postman. Now, you guys might know him from his various trap remixes. I also really love the track that he worked on, Fuel My Love, featuring Nicholas Warren. I think that one's my favorite.
Yo, seriously, my man, if you see this video, hit me up. I want to make a song like that with you. I love it, and I love the message.
So, Asher Postman is a music producer, known to use FL Studio, probably some other ones now that he's big. He has 240,000 subscribers on YouTube. Go check him out. Go check out his music. It's great. He's got great tutorials. He loves Midi on. He's got great reaction videos. He's a big inspiration for me in how I run things on my channel. Really positive guy. But one thing I bet you guys did not know is he has some demo projects in FL Studio. In fact, he has two demo projects, a Future House and a Future Bass demo. Now, both of these tracks use stock plugins only and the FL Studio kit to make the song, and they're fantastic. And one of my students actually asked me to break down his songs in a video. So I'm gonna make this a two-part series. If you like this video, subscribe and like, that way you can check out the next one. Let me know you want more stuff like this. If you guys are, oh yeah, just do that. So today we're gonna look at his Future Bass one. I believe is the one I wanted to check out first. Remember guys, I'm gonna break down these techniques that he uses, that way you can use them yourself in your own songs. He's brilliant the way he creates specific sounds. Let's hop right on in and we'll talk more about it. Alright guys, now to access the demo project, you need to go click over here at this waveform, and you need to scroll down till you see demo projects. Then you need to go to demo songs, and now click on the Asher Postman Future Bass song. I think that's one we're gonna be checking out today. Right click it and click open. Alright guys, here we are. This is his demo right here. Let me condense the size of it a little bit. That way you can see everything that's going on. We're gonna go ahead and listen through it real quick. I think it's only like a minute long. No, it's only like 38 seconds long. It could easily loop, but the techniques he demonstrates in here are fantastic. Look at that, little Asher Postman thing here. Let's check it out from the beginning. Let's give it a listen, and then we'll hop right into the breakdown of the key elements in here. So, as you guys can hear, he demonstrates some really great sounds and creative techniques in here, and I want to cover a lot of them. That way we can observe how a professional uses FL Studio to make some really great sounds. Future Bass, of course, is a pretty popular genre right now and has been for a minute, even extending into things like future pop. Let's first look at that sound that we're hearing, that womp 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 womp. Let's see if I can identify where it is and how he's using it. Alright, so we got that. Now we need to find what automation is dictating the cutoff and the womp womp womp. Now it could be a sidechain. It is a sidechain. Okay, he's sidechaining it directly to the kick and probably the snare too. But let's go find the generators for this sound. Alright, so it looks like he's using 5 different sounds here. Let's go find them. First one here. I believe this is Ooh, he's layering. Okay, so let's see what sound generators play when we activate that. So what he's done is he's used layer, which is right here, and you can tell layer, you can set the children. When you click, like when you highlight these three, and then you go over into here, you just gotta, and then you set children. Now, anytime a note is hit on the layer, it will activate the children or the pads and synths that you have linked to it. So that's the first thing that he did, using a sound that he made or found in, what is this, Harmor? Yeah. So, a big saw, that makes sense. Ooh, 1 in 3.0 SX. Nice. There's a lot of reverb on everything. I bet he's bussing these. Harmless. Oh, harmless, not Harmor. Okay. You can access harmless by adding channel and then finding it right here in your Synth Classic folder. With these three together, we get a nice, big, full chord. Now, it also sounds like he's panned some sounds left and right or widened the stereo image. Let's go look at that in the mixer. Alright, so he's bussed these two chord things to the to a bus here. Let me make this smaller so we can look at the effects. Here we go. That's nice. He's EQ'd a specific frequency in. Ooh, he's added some distortion here to get that gritty feel. Check it out without it. Yeah, this adds a lot of grit, and he's EQ'd out all the low ends that you don't need with your melodic synthesizers or your chord synthesizers. In EDM, especially, because the sub bass or the bass needs to sound very clear, and because sound generators have the ability to create sounds across all of the spectrum, it's very important that you EQ out frequencies below like 80 hertz, because the residual sound that something like this will make, not only is it cleaner, but that low-end sound is only going to be mud in the mix. It's going to take away from your headroom, and it's going to take away from the room that you can use to be creative and punchy with your sub bass or your kicks. You want to take out the unnecessary frequencies below then. And you want to do this for like almost every instrument you can. You can do it here, or you can do it with an EQ. See? All right. Distortion, that's the other part. Then we got... Again, look how he's taken out the low ends and emphasized specific frequencies that he likes. Putting them all together to... Let's see how these sound here. And let's see what he's done. He's EQ'd out the lows again. He's put a sound goodizer, option C with just a little bit. Pretty much that's just some compression and saturation, just a little bit. And the reverb, he has it on here on the bus. That way he doesn't have to run multiple instances of reverb on each slot. He can save CPU power by putting reverb where all these have bust to, and the reverb will sound more, it'll just sound cleaner. If you want the same type of reverb to act on the different type of instruments, use a bus, because then everything sounds more consistent and concise through the mix. Different reverbs can create a little bit of disconnection, especially if you're trying to build an atmosphere. And he's got a Fruity Love filter. What does this do? Oh, let me see something. So with the kicks active. Now, I want to know how he oh, look at this. He's linked each of his synths that he wants to sidechain over to a pre-send before the master. I do that on my songs as well. This sidechain has a load Fruity Love filter, select volume and panning preset. Right-click the Y knob, select link to controller, link to articulator on Fruity 1 envelope. Ah, so I see he's used this. Now, the kick what activates it? The kick is what is activating it. Okay, interesting. Cool. All right, nice, nice. So, and that build-up part, this is where he's using Fruity Love filter. He's using a low pass right here to create that rise. You can do this with an EQ. You can do this with Love filter. There's a few different ways that you can do this within FL Studio. Now, as far as getting it to sound big and full, layering and EQing each of your synths is important. But also, on top of that, I know that he's using a compressor somewhere. Well, like we said, Sound Goodizer is one of them. But also on his master chain, you'll see he is cutting out the low fuzz. Nice, smart. Wave Candy is the visualizer up here. Maximus, this is what he's using to make things a lot of really full. You'll see that there's some compression after 3 dBs on the low end. Let me solo it for you. Go to our mid. It's interesting because actually I think this is not upwards compression. Sorry, my bad. He's not using upwards compression. What he did was he made a soft curve here for dynamic compression to push down the sounds in case it was going to peak or something like that. Mids, same, but it's not as soft. It's more direct with its line. And the high as well cuts off at a little bit of a lower volume than these two. You'll see that these two trigger at higher volumes, and this lets even more through than the mid and the high. So this type of compression, not only is it pushing the volumes a little bit, which is great, but it's also allowing more of that low end to come through, and I guess make it sound really, that future bass sound, big, womp, womp type stuff. All right, let's see how that sounds. Let's look at the frequency here. See how that big low end is right there compared to the rest? Everything sounds really nice, though. Let's talk about the chops. Bet there's a lot of distortion on that. Let's look at that regular sound. Okay. Let's check this out. On 22, we have the Rock Me Baby. So he's using a wave shaper. Let's see how that influences it. Rock Me Baby. FX. Using a lo-fi down here. Rock Me Baby. Let's see how it sounds without everything. Rock Me Baby. Yeah, he's making it sound really great with all of this. Ooh, stereo enhancer. Okay. Multiband compressor. Whoa. Rock Me Baby. Nice. Okay. So he's using a lot of compression, not a lot, but he's using compression, EQ, and a stereo enhancement, as well as effects from Effector, which I believe you can access in here, to get that nice, gritty and wide sound. If you have earphones on, you'll likely hear it sounds like this girl's coming from both sides.
Rock me, baby.
Sounds like she's coming from right here, and then he's got those clicks on this side as well. And these chops. I want to know what's going on here with that. So, what he's done is he's taken a vocal chop and that must be the last part. Yeah. And he's using a lot here as well. Now, these go directly to the master, it looks like, except for the reverb. He's side-chaining the reverb. That's a really smart thing to do, because if you want your kicks to cut through the mix, you should side-chain the wetness of some of your tracks. That way they're not lost in the background. It's good. It's a good practice to sidechain. Sidechain, like I said, wetness, your synths, some vocal wetness, things like that, to your kicks and snares. That way they sound more punchy, and it adds a little bit of movement in with all that wetness. It gives the track a nice feel. Let's look at them. Filter, sound goodizer, compressor, distortion, reverb. That's the reverb bus. That's for this one. Interesting. Let's see how it sidechains with the kick. Yeah, you can hear it go like in and out. It's also being sidechained, which is great. Let's look a little bit at this right here, this sound. That sounds pretty cool. Now, I believe it's based off this sound. And probably this horizon. Yep. Layered sound. Ooh, and the toms are nice too. Toms are a nice touch. Let's look at what effect he's using here though. 28. Is it the Panomatic that he's using? No. He's probably... Let's see how he gets that sound. Volume multiplier is what he's using. And he's... see, if I mess with this, it will mess how this sound reacts. Alright, now let's just go see where volume multiplier, LFO speed, oh, I think he's just doing it within the samples. Yeah, here we go. So he's doing it within the sample here. He's gone into the level adjust and created an automation clip, and then created the LFO wave here. And then he's adjusted the speed of it too, which is crazy. Let's see if we can emulate that. So I need to make this into an LFO. He's got this here, and he's got... So what has he done? Let's look at how he's done this. There we go. So what he's done is he's used the wave function on the... He's right-clicked the parameter on the right side, gone to wave, and then not only has he set it to start at right Oh, it looks like the wave to me. Just with different tension. Let's double click this and look at the tension. Here we go, tension. Ah, he's messed with the parameters in here after he set that up. So he's automated the LFO speed like this. Create automation clip. This is this part right here. And then he's adjusted it until the waveform itself looked like amount, and let's go to the speed for our bass till it looks like we've matched up. He's got a wave right about here, and now we just need to make the tension look the same. There we go. Bring this up here, bring this down here, and nice. Let's bring that speed up though. Yeah, that's pretty much how he did it. All right, cool. So we've seen how he's used those effects. Interesting. So he made that wind up effect, like again, by double clicking the sample, going into your option miscellaneous functions, right clicking, create automation clip. Then with that automation clip, he had to go into the volume multiplier by double clicking it and change the parameters in here and also automate the speed. All right. So that's how he went ahead and accomplished that effect right there. You can accomplish your wind up and wind downs like that, I guess. That's pretty cool. That's a great way to spice up your... See, that sounds just like, but he wanted that wavy sound that Future Bass has. Lit. As far as drums and stuff, it's gonna come down to your samples. Oh, here's the sidechain. Interesting. It's triggered off of both, I guess, because it works either way. Yeah, because see how there's not a kick right here in the pattern, but he needs it to sidechain? He went ahead and set up a parameter to trigger that. It looks like a ghost kick. Oh, no, it's just when this is pressed, it creates this waveform and acts upon the sound. Cool. Let's look at the drums again. Let's go back to the drums. And look how his project is organized. That's nice. It's good to organize your project, guys. Helps with, like, your workflow, keeping track of things. Listen to that whoosh, that whoop. Wind-up sound is really nice going into some of those kicks. Kick snare, let's look at where he's got them on the mixer. I want to see where they're acting from. Here we go. Our kick. Let's see if he's running any pre-volume adjustments to it. Doesn't seem like it. Wave shaper. EQ. That's crazy. He's kicking out the bottom, so the sub must be coming from somewhere else. Let's listen if there is. That means this is where the sub bass is. And that kick is automating it. Ah, now when his sub bass is on and his kicks at the same time, not only will they not cross into each other, but it also cuts it out a moment just to make it sound more wompy, especially with this. Let's keep looking at those. EQ, reverb. That's that sound we're getting. To giving it more oomph at the end. Giving it more like a oof, oof sound. Nice. Snares, EQs, and sound goodizer, big snare. Ooh. Interesting. Okay, so it looks like this is the snare bus. This is his bus track that he's using right here for these two snares. He's layered a lower frequency snare with a higher frequency snare. I'm sure he's EQ'd them both, reverbed them, it looks like separately, and then put them under some EQ at the end with a little bit of saturation. Smart. Awesome. Okay, let's look at those hi-hats. It's mostly just a nice pattern. Stereo enhancer to make it sound a little more wide and like it's coming from the right side. To me, at least. But I don't know, I guess it's just coming from both. So it looks like he has 3 different hats that he's using, maybe even more. 4? Four. Very nice. We can see the makeup of his of the bass of his track. Oh, I gotta turn on that sub bass again. And lots of different effects using those different techniques we talked about. Nice. You can find things like these online, like in tri-samples or cymatics, things like that. Let's look at that riser sound. So what he's done here is he's set up our bass note and a slide note. This is using this function here. What it does is it tells when the slide needs to start and where it needs to be when it ends. It would be shorter if I brought it back here. See? Check this. And that background sound. Now, what he's done is he created an envelope to make it soft come in. See how it does that? And gets louder? Without that, it's just gonna pop right in. Creating a short attack, or creating a longer attack envelope for the sound. Let's go listen again one more time, see if we can find some other really unique sounds in here that are gonna make them sound nice. Notice how his drums sound really big, like big room environment. With the proper EQ and reverb, you can accomplish this. Like the toms sound nice and punchy. I imagine there's a lot of compression on them to make them sound like this. Yeah, and he's got some of them coming in from right to left. So some of these Let's go to Control and go to, oh, it's going to be under Note Pan. See? Right, middle, left. Nice demonstration. He's using all the tricks here just to demonstrate. Like, if you went in this, you could learn a lot of things, just how to accomplish things within the studio. All right, let's take a look at that sub bass now. It's crazy. So he's not even using the sine. It's crazy how similar these both sound. So there's got to be a specific style of distortion. That's right. Yeah, that distortion's what's bringing that grit, it seems. And I believe that the reason he's using the limiter is because, of course, he's using the kick bottom to sidechain to it. Check this out. When we turn the kick bottom back on, there we go. Now we'll see the limiter act. I should have known just by looking at something in here. Yep. It's interesting because he has different sidechain parameters going on. He has a sidechain acting upon his sub bass with the limiter for being sent from the kick. That makes sense. And then he also has the sidechain with Fruity filter. Now, normally people would only just use like, they'd probably be really lazy and only use one sidechain or use like a volume automation. But with this, I'm sure he noticed that he had a need to sidechain his chords in a different way than his bass, while also sidechaining at the same time in specific triggers of the song, which is why he set up both sidechain options. Wow. Perfect. I think we've gone down and broken every single aspect, not every single aspect, but a lot of the key parts of this song. What does this do? Ah, it turns this on. So he's using this to trigger that. And just like he did over here with this sound effect. Same technique. It's pretty cool. And of course, a nice impact. 2 impact, and a sub at the end to close things out with the kick and some reverb. Hey! Overall, I think that, like I said, Asher Postman is a pretty dang smart guy and makes some good music. You guys should check him out. Guys, I hope that our look into this project today helped you learn something new. Hope it was interesting. Go check out Asher Postman music. He makes some great stuff. And don't forget to check out my affiliate links below. Check out DistroKid. If you guys are making music and you want your music to be on Spotify, TikTok, iTunes, Apple Music, if you want to get paid on SoundCloud, DistroKid's got you covered for only $20 a year. You have unlimited uploads. They give you an ISRC number. You'll actually be getting paid for your tracks, and you'll have them on, you'll get like a Spotify check mark, things like that. I think it's definitely worth $20 a year just to have the ability to start building your reputation and following early. That way, when you guys are making big hits, you guys have something there to help push you even further. I'm a big endorser of self-investment, and DistroKid has treated me right. I know they will treat you right if you guys go to them below with my VIP link, distrokid.com/VIP/professor, where they will give you 7% off of your membership. This has been Professor. Check out everything else. Subscribe. Hit that like. Check out my shops below. Check out my music on my channel. I've got plenty of bangers on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. Plenty more videos teaching you how to work in FL Studio. And leave any comments and suggestions below, guys. You guys rock. Thanks for checking the video. I will see you next time. This has been Professor. I'm out. Peace.
feel like I'm drifting away and I'm stuck in my ways. Feel like I'm losing the day. I feel like I need me a pound. I'll break right down, then I'll be smoking it down and cruising around, recycle, repeating the night. Yeah, feel like I'm living a life, and there's never been doubt in my sight, huh? El Chapo with the pesos and a long clip with the Draco, and I walk around with that poncho, cause everywhere I go I get wet, huh? She stupid, she calling collect, huh? I'm out here, I'm catching these checks. They hating, they knowing I'm next. You stupid, I'm dripping, it's wet. Yeah, feel like I'm drifting away and I'm stuck in my